This is the risk of automating the real world. Hi guys, my name is Greatest and you're welcome to Tech with Greatest, your home of top tier technological insights and perspectives. Today on this channel, we hope to give you a deep dive into technology and the world around us. And today specifically, we're going to talk about what recently happened with the Waymo robotaxis in San Francisco. When we think about automation, we picture self-driving cars gliding through the roads, allowing humans to have more time to do more stuff. But what happens when the robotaxis themselves don't just fail, but the infrastructure and the world around them fails? That's what we're going to explore today. So let's get right into it. San Francisco recently suffered a mass power outage that left the Waymo robotaxis currently being used in the city in complete disarray. Not a software update gone wrong, not a software crash, not a bug, simply the lights went out and there was no power across the city. Almost instantly, these autonomous vehicles were left stranded on the road, completely kept at a halt, leaving the passengers in the cars completely confused and the passerbys in their cars completely confused. You had people having to swerve past these cars to get to their destination, passengers stuck in their cars thinking about how they'll get home through the situation. People were left stranded not just because the technology malfunctioned, but because the environment around this technology stopped. We have been sold the dream of autonomy as independence, but this autonomy was exposed as dependent on electricity, infrastructure, and connectivity that no one else could think about. And it is worth remembering that these vehicles are simply not just cars, they are a representation of where we are today in our world as in terms of technology. These aren't just experimental prototypes. These are fully autonomous vehicles with no drivers that we are trusting to take control of our lives. And that means that the chain of responsibility isn't just the car, the company, and the user. It's the car, the company, the infrastructure, and the user. Every lamppost, every traffic light, every server, every database, every map system, all come in hand in hand to make sure that these vehicles work properly and this technology is highly acceptable and usable in our highly unpredictable world. What happens when one of these systems fails? What happens when one of these fragile systems crashes, leading to mass problems? And because there's no human behind the wheel taking control of these problems, when such problems arise, there's no one to actually use their judgment to find solutions to this. We are leaving our lives and our whole world in the hands of computers. Here's the real issue. The problem isn't just when one car fails, it's when systems are centralized, the failure scales instantly. A single outage doesn't just affect one car, it affects dozens all at once. Imagine if all Uber drivers simply stopped driving and all their cars stalled just because a server was unplugged or there was a power outage. That's what centralization looks like. Infrastructure failure doesn't just cause accidents, it causes gridlocks. And the more autonomous vehicles we put on our roads, the more chances for systems to fail and infrastructure to fail. And when there are more vehicles on the road, the larger the impact it has on us when these systems' fragile infrastructure fails. When we replace human judgment with centralized machine control, we gain consistency, but we lose the nuance that we have as humans to make judgments and shift our attentions to get our attentions and our resources to find solutions to problems. And this brings us into a deeper pattern that we're seeing in tech, not just with cars. We rush to deploy early and we think about fixing later. That's manageable with apps and devices, where downtime simply leads to frustration. Cities are not apps or devices where an update can easily fix the solution. Downtime means lives lost, money lost, people slowed down, businesses slowing down, all because a single system isn't up to date or infrastructure surrounding that system isn't up to date and sufficient for what it's needed. We Tech companies need to understand when they deploy such technology into the real world, they must have thought about the processes and the uncertainties that surround it. They must have provisions in the background that truly support these systems to make sure they're effectively working. We think about, and this is highly malicious. You engineer a product that you know is going to be used by people in the public space who may not be technically sound to fix those solutions at hand or when the problems happen. You expect them to simply go on about their lives, not thinking about the impact it has on them. Tech companies have simply done this before, some rushing to get an IPO on the stock market, some rushing to get investors just because they have an idea and a vision. It may be a good idea or vision, but is it good? Is it planned out well? Has Are the ideas delivered properly? And of course, we want these innovations. They are highly welcome and encouraged in our world. But what are the priorities when these decisions are made? The safety of the people, or the pockets of the companies, or the reputation of the companies? This is something we need to understand, because these things, these technologies that are put into the world affect people's lives and businesses and livelihoods. Just imagine someone was in a taxi rushing to the hospital just because they had an accident. They are stopped. They're stranded there minutes and minutes and minutes, because literally the difference between life and death. That needs to be understanding when these decisions are made. We need to understand we cannot keep going on and on with deploying early and fixing reliability later down the line. And of course, you can't just say, oh, just because you're not fixed reliability at the beginning, you don't release the product. You need these experiences in the real world to understand the problems. But yes, these needs to be controlled. There needs to be backup systems in place to solve the problems when they happen. Just imagine the cars had a system where if there's a problem, a driver can step in and control the cars. Were they those solutions? We don't know. That's for the company to clarify and clearly tell the drivers to understand that when we make decisions, it affects people's lives and livelihoods. That needs to be a top priority. The real question isn't if robotaxis will work. They will definitely work. The trajectory of these devices is very high. We're seeing the potential grow and grow every day. But the real question is timing. Are infrastructure ready to support these devices? Is the surrounding world ready to support these devices in working well? The testing that these devices are done, the perfect conditions that these companies have created to test them, do they really match up to the real day-to-day things that happen in our lives? Can these devices withstand the uncertainties that we face every day? Do these devices truly work under all conditions? Can they be manageable by people who may not be technically sound? These devices are being deployed into numerous people, various demographics. Are these devices ready to truly provide services, good services to these people without the hassle? That's the question we need to ask ourselves. We know this technology will work. Are we ready as a society to accept it and let it grow? The future of automation, the future of technology is clear. We're moving towards AI, self-driving cars, flying cars in some cases, robots. But the main question generally in all this, are we ready? Are our infrastructure ready for this? Are we ready to truly move on into the next stage of technology? That's the real question I pose to you. If automation makes mobility seamless in perfect situations, its resilience truly has to be tested in the unperfect situations. If you enjoyed this video, please drop a comment and leave your opinions down in the comment sections. Would you get a robotaxi today if you had the chance to do it? Would you put your life in the hands of this self-driving car? That's the question I ask for you. Are we ready as a society to truly accept and use this? Because whether or not you like it or not, this is our future. This is our reality. The question is, are we ready to use it? Thank you today for watching this video. Make sure you like, share, and comment and subscribe. We'll have more videos coming out soon as we grow the channel, and we really like your feedback. Thank you so much for watching the video, and see you in the next video.